Yeah. Okay, cool. And I have to make this, I'll make some of this today. Um, it's- Right. Hey, Joel.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. You here teaching?
I am.
Look at this big crowd you got.
I know. I love chairs. They're my favorite. I got a couple on mine.
Yeah. I hear you.
Right, where's the camera? Over there. Perfect. Morning. Everybody hear me okay?
Good morning, loud and clear on this end.
Can't hear you. Just one sec. Good morning. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Yeah. All right. Michael's grabbing some coffee, and we're gonna go ahead and get started because I want to be respectful of everybody's time this morning. Camera's over here. My name's Crystal. I am a real estate consultant, is what we're calling that in our office now, for the Joel Outcome team, and a productivity coach for our market center. And I'm going to go over today in your Ignite how to capture leads with social media. So here's just a recap on what you guys have done already leading up to today. And each one of these just kind of builds upon the other one. And so, you know, you just captured all of your leads at open houses, and now we're just going to talk about your social media lead capturing techniques and tactics. And then I move these around. There we go. And then If you have any questions, those of you on Zoom, just go ahead and interrupt. I am okay with that. So I just want to talk a little bit about just the world of social media. And I think I just only have just a couple of you here. It looks like I've got Billy here online, and then Michael will be back here in the room. So I'd love to know just kind of what platforms of social media everybody is maybe already on, even if you're not using it to capture leads, like, but which platforms are you on? So if you guys want to put that in the chat, let me know. Unmute.
I'm on Facebook, and I'm on TikTok, and I'm most consistent with Facebook. I have LinkedIn and Twitter, but I don't think I've ever actually used them. But I'm pretty consistent on Facebook, and I'm working on being consistent with Reels on TikTok, and then transferring them to Facebook. You can kind of use the same thing as long as you take the watermark off.
Yep, absolutely.
I agree.
That's great.
I think our Facebook is my main platform, but I'm TikTok and Instagram as well. Don't know much about them. It's new to me, but we have a marketing gal that helps assist with that. But try to tie the two together. But 80% focus on Facebook for sure.
Absolutely. And how about you? What social media platforms are you on?
None.
None? None? All right. So this is all going to be new for you.
Pretty much.
Well, the great thing about real estate is, you can really capture leads through any avenue. I mean, you can go to the grocery store and get what you need there. So we're gonna dive in today. Like I said, if you have any questions, please just pop in. I feel very on camera here, so it's great. Okay, so we're going to go over just a little Gary Keller quote here. You do have in your Ignite handbook, you do have some opportunity to take some notes today as we go over things. So I just want to read this here. It takes time to learn something, more time to implement it, and even longer to approach mastery of it. So one thing I want to just say with social media, because it's ever changing and so quickly changing, is just don't get frustrated. There's really, you're not going to fail at it. So even if you you have not even started yet, you've got people who are doing, the TikTok level of things, but we've had implementation of lots of different platforms very quickly. And so it can be overwhelming at times. So don't try to learn all of them at once, but rather just pick one that you feel like stands out to you, if that's an area that you want to go, and then just start diving into that as well. So we're going to go over the engagement systems here. This around 900 times. So why social media? So we've got, different CRMs that we can purchase to be able to capture leads, but social media doesn't cost you anything except for your time, which is valuable. And one of the things that you want to be able to do with that is grow your database and your platform through social media. People are so interested in how other people are living. I don't think that's changed over time. There's been reality TV for a really, really long time. Now we just have the ability to see into other people's lives through our phones. And so with that being said, finding an area of interest for you is going to be the first thing that you're going to want to do, because if it's not interesting to you, you're not going to stick with it over the long term. And we're going to dive deeper on how to stay engaged in all of those things. Okay, so let's just stick with Facebook, because I feel like everybody has a good understanding for the most part of Facebook, how it works. It's the platform that's been around the longest. They actually own Instagram. and if you hear anybody mention YouTube, my recommendation is, especially for you who does not have a social media platform yet, I would, if I'm going to grow one, and knowing what I know in the world, in the industry right now, I would start with YouTube. Because Instagram, TikTok, all of those things, they're not going to last quite as long, but YouTube's owned by Google and it's not going anywhere. So that is going to be your opportunity to grow at a different level and a faster level. So a lot of that you're seeing on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, where you've got short videos, you've got reels and things like that, you can do that all over on YouTube. So if you're working on your business plan and you're like, what do I need to be doing as far as social media is concerned, I would recommend starting on YouTube and building that if you're going to build something from scratch right now. So let's talk about social media engagement. And what does social media engagement mean? And I kind of want to, just because you don't have a social media platform yet, but just to kind of talk about the basics of that. So have you ever logged into Facebook or?
Oh yeah, I have a Facebook account because they made me do that when I got here. But I don't use it.
Yeah. So engagement's going to look like likes, comments, just any sort of engaging conversation back and forth. So there are some algorithms that we can make work in our favor, basically. So, and that's what, we've got here at Ignite is they've got what's called a 5-10-1 engagement system. So 10 is you want to go on there and just like 10 posts a day. And within those 10 posts, you want to comment on 5 of them and then maybe private message on 1 of them. And that is going to get you started in a steady algorithm to keep you in the forefront of other people that you're connected with on that social media. So that's going to be the same across every single platform. Set yourself a standard of doing a 10-5-1, 10 likes, 5 comments, 1 personal direct message, depending on any platform that you're on. Okay, so sharing 1 direct message or 1 original post of your own. So what you don't want to do on Facebook is post 5 things at once or any platform. You don't want to over inundate people with stuff. Because if we're posting 5 things all at once, it's going to be a little too overstimulating for people. Does anybody have a system that they've got that is really seems to be working for them? Okay.
Obviously, I don't.
I know that. Yeah, I appreciate that you're here. So let's connect on social media. So I kind of skipped ahead. I already asked you all of this. So outside of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, what other platforms does anybody know of that are particularly popular? Snapchat. We've got Threads now. Instagram has done a spinoff of their platform owned by Instagram. It's now called Threads, and it runs like TikTok or like Twitter. And then Twitter would be another one as well. So each one kind of has their own flavor and flair, and then also kind of an age demographic that gravitates towards those. So once you've got a good idea of the type of clients that you want to work with, the type of properties that you want to sell, you kind of need to decide which platform you want to go with based on that. Now, I will tell you, YouTube's going to cover all of them. And it's great as you're learning to just go on and maybe watch some other people's content. And it doesn't even have to be real estate related. You know, if we were to go over to YouTube, there's a YouTube sensation, a YouTuber. His name's Mr. Beast, and he has a crazy following, but he's consistent. He shows up every single day. His content is the same. It's engaging. He does like unboxing of products, or he goes out and tests different products. He does a lot of giveaways, things like that. But he's doing everything at a really high level and has exploded very quickly. So he's someone that I would maybe just go and check out, follow him for a while. Not saying to go and model the things that he's doing necessarily, because he's got his own little niche of what works for him and who his clientele are, but just see how carefree he is, and find some other people that you can maybe connect with. I do recommend following people. Maybe, you know, we've got really great agents in our area if we're going to talk real estate as far as social media and see what other people are doing. You don't ever have to create something from scratch for yourself in real estate, social media, any of it. I personally will go and find people that I like, maybe in a different part of the country, maybe in a different part of the world, and then get inspiration from them and recreate it with my own flair. So that way I'm not really doing something that somebody local is doing because I want to stand out and not do the same thing everyone else is doing. Does anyone, okay, so you set up a Facebook.
I did.
Good job. And outside of just having it set up, is there anything that you have done with it so far?
Yeah, actually, I was trying to get, I had to get directions to Hyatt Bakery up in home. I asked for help on that.
That's awesome. See? And people, what was the responses that you got from that?
Yeah, I got a lot of responses.
So did they only just give you directions, or did they maybe even suggest other bakeries that you might like?
No, they only gave me directions and other ways of doing business with them.
That's great. That's awesome. I love social media for the fact that people want to share things that are like working for them. For the most part, people are coming from contribution. They want to be helpful. You know, there is a dark negative side to social media, but you really get to control what's in front of you and your eyes and the content that you're putting out. So I believe it's one of those things that you really can have the most control over. And being consistent is really going to help you build relationship with people on there, and in a fast, large way, to be able to have multiple conversations. So like, how many people, for instance, on that responded?
I got 5 responses.
Okay. Now, how long did that take you?
How long did it take me
to make your post?
To make my post? That took me about 30 seconds.
Right. So could you have 5 conversations with people in 30 seconds?
Well, yeah. I mean, well, no, I see what you're saying. Not that way.
Right. So you were able to have 5 separate conversations. Essentially, you essentially asked 5 different people, hey, how do I get to this bakery? And they all responded. Now, if you would have called 5 different people, you'd have ring time, answer time, question time. I mean, you'd have been easy 30 minutes, if not an hour, to have conversation with that many people. So social media allows you to say what you need to say once and then get the response from people. And it's going to be a huge time saver for you. Back to the 10 likes, 5 comments, one post, direct message, or 1 share. This is just going to help you stay consistent. And so if you were to schedule your time, you should have on your daily schedule a social media time. You know, maybe it's your content creation, maybe it's your engagement time, but you should have time blocked to social media time. And then just know I need to do my 10, 5, and my 1. And just don't overthink it. You know, scroll through there. Maybe there's some neighborhood pages that you've been watching that you really like, and, you know, add some comments on those for those people that commented on your post, did you go back and respond to any of them?
I did.
And that's perfect. So, and that is going to help create your engagement. Now on your next post that you make, those people are going to see, they should see you first. The more you engage with people, the more you're going to pop up in their feed. So important to know. One share. So this could be just a piece of valuable information. It doesn't have to be, I'm looking for buyers, I've got a new listing. Now you should share those, but sometimes it might be, hey, I just made this delicious meal. I'm going to share this recipe with you guys. And maybe it's a different community event or something like that. So an original post or a share from somebody else's page would be your one for the day. Anybody have any questions or ahas on that?
Crystal, I really like this this model that they're sharing here because it's simple and you just build it right into your lead gen time. And like
Yes.
you said, really that whole thing is probably no more than 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes at the most, probably less than that. But I think it's a good starting point. And if the way that I've structured it is throughout the day. So there's a morning, an afternoon, and an evening time just to jump on rather than hanging out, wasting tons of time all day long. It's like morning time, afternoon, and then evening, and then just jump on there. What I've noticed was people would like or comment on mine, and I'm like, who is that? And my tendency would be to jump over and click on their page to understand, oh, this is another realtor, or oh, this is somebody in town, a business. And then, like you said, then I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So then I actually, because I'm interested in them, then I friend them. So,
and it's really neat too to see the people that will like your post or comment on it. And it kind of gives you insight as to kind of maybe who's watching you. Especially if they're like repeat likers or commenters, like you're showing up in their feed every single day, which means like they're going to your page, they're checking you out, like you are interesting to them and you want to be aware of those people. You just want to have like just some radar of like, okay, who's coming up to my top of mind quickly. Did you have something else, Lionel, or was that?
nope, that was it.
So what do I post about? How often do I post? We're going to talk about posting practices. So, just like our diet, we should follow an 80-20 rule. Eat good 80% of the time, allow yourself 20% to enjoy the things that maybe are not as healthy for us, So same thing with our posting, 80% personal, 20% business. So a personal post would be my page here. I run mostly on Instagram. I post to Facebook because I know where I live. And I know that most of those people are on Facebook and not on Instagram. And so I will tell you, my personal posts get far more engagement than my business posts. But I know based on the amount of people who are engaging on my personal posts, how many people are actually watching. So I just had an anniversary. I made a post 2 days ago on that. I have 111 likes, 56 comments. So that's a lot. Now, if I go down to a business post, let's do one that I made. I shared a listing. I have 15 likes, 1 comment, and 2 shares off of that, which is awesome. That's really, really great. So 80% personal, 20% business. I don't want people to forget that I sell real estate, but I also want them to know I'm family friendly and happy. I love my dog, I love my family, all of those things. Because like I said in the beginning, even back to, reality TV, which is still thing about on cable, is people are interested in other people's lives. So if you can give them insight into what your life is like, it it will help them engage. Lionel's daughter, Bethany, and I always reference her. I don't know how she doesn't get picked up for this class over me because she does a phenomenal job. And she just shares her life day in, day out, her babies, her, going through pregnancy. She just busted her elbow. She did Wednesday's class, I think. And she shares all of it. And then she also shares like, here's what we're renovating. Here's my business portion. But she's consistent and shows up every single day in her stories. And that's really what people like. Now, do you know what a story is?
No.
Okay. So on Facebook.
Can you discuss, oh, Crystal?
Yep.
Can you hear me? Can you discuss the difference from feed to story to, because there's like 3 different platforms on Facebook. I truly don't know the difference. Can you break that down more?
Yeah, I'm about to do that because we've got Michael here in the room, and he's brand new on Facebook. So some of these things I'm like, well, I'm using verbiage, but do you know what I'm talking about? So on your Facebook platform, and I know those of you on, this is weird to me, on here is you've got your regular Facebook page. Now, if I want to make a post, I just go up here, what's on your mind, and I can share all of it. But, or I can do a photo, I can do a video, I can go live when you're, well, I'll give you some ideas later, but, and that's going to be instant and people are going to see that. Also on here is you can create a story. So if I'm just right here on my homepage, there's a little button. It's got my profile picture on it. It says the blue button with the +9. It says create story. Now these are just going to be little quick snippets. So I use these. So stories are going to be the same. Facebook, Instagram. I'm not big on TikTok. I like to watch TikTok, but I don't use it as a platform. I like social media for decompression time, also not just for work. So I reserve one platform that I'm not pushing on, which is TikTok for me, where I can just be my own mindless business. But my Instagram and my Facebook are where business happens. So stories are going to be the same on Facebook and Instagram, where it's up for 24 hours. So it can be a quick photo. It can be like, here's what I'm wearing today. Like, honestly, you have really great fashion.
Oh, thank you.
You could be using that for people would be interested in that about you on social media. Hey, here's my outfit of the day. TikTok, there's a ton of people that do videos of like, get ready with me. And basically you were literally just getting ready. Like, this is the outfit I chose today, maybe some engagement posts. You could be like, hey, which hat do you think I should wear? People will engage. They like to share their opinions. But they also just like to feel engaged with people. And, over the last couple of years, social media has really grown because we were so disconnected and so hungry for human interaction. And I'm seeing a lot more on social media lately where people are not just like grazing, but they are interacting a whole lot more, which is great. So Facebook, you can post, you can do a story. Story is going to stay for 24 hours. It can be a little video, or you can even share your post. So like, let's do, this one. I can share it to my story. So somebody tagged me, the title company tagged me. They dropped off ice cream at our office last week. Just kidding. It was 2 days ago. And so they tagged me in a post because I was there. So I can just share that. And what I'm going to say is, thank you, First American. For the sweet treats. They will get notified that I shared this to my story. This tells everyone else. It tells other title companies what people are up to. And then I just share that. So now that's going to be on my story. It's going to pop up right here. It's going to be there for 24 hours. Now, Reels are going to be on Instagram. TikTok is technically kind of a reel. They're just short form video. So there's so much to share, and I don't want to like make it confusing. Short form video is going to be just those little clips like Reels. Get Ready With Me is going to be short form. A long teaching video is going to be long form. Highly what I suggest using YouTube for, but I'll get a little bit further into that. Does that answer your question, Billy, on Reels posts?
Yeah, no, totally. So just Facebook stories last 24 hours, but normal posts stay up there forever. And is there one other one to choose from?
So
Is it like
for
feed?
so there's your feed, and that's a post on Facebook, and that'll go onto your feed. And then you've got your stories, which are just going to be short little clips on the top. And that's really going to be the extent of like what you can do on Facebook. Now, Instagram, if you're rolling on Instagram, and then of course, Facebook Live. And Facebook Live, you can share to your stories, but that's going to stay, you're going to be able to go live. People can engage right then and there, like on a Zoom. But they're going to, well, not quite like a Zoom because you can't hear them, but they can comment and react and all of that. And then that's going to live on your page forever unless you hide it. So if you make a post and maybe it doesn't match your flow or whatever, you can go and delete it or hide it or whatever. So forever on your feed, 24 hours on your stories. Instagram, your stories are 24 hours unless you add it to your highlight reel. So are you running on Instagram, Billy?
Yes. But
okay.
I mean, I literally do not do much with it, but I'm in the baby stage, as you might say.
Okay. So on Instagram, can you see that?
Yeah.
You don't have to see it clearly, just as long as you can just kind of see the little circles.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are highlights. And that is something as you're building your Instagram, you're going to want to create for yourself. So when I post to my story, I can push it to my highlights. My highlights are not ever going to expire, disappear like my story will. So if I just did a little quick home tour on my stories and I want to put it into my real estate highlight reel because I want it to live for forever, I want people to be able to go back through and look at that. So you can create as many different highlights, too many, as you want. So like, for instance, my daughter just got married a couple of weeks ago. We've been wedding stuff for, let's see, my first one was when Save the Dates went out over a year ago. So I've got all of these little pieces for wedding. I've got inspirational quotes. I've got my real estate ones. And so people can go through here and see what I've been doing over time. My first real estate one was from 2019. So they can see, oh, well, she's been in real estate, or at least on Instagram, and sharing real estate since 2019. And then I'm consistent in my highlights. They can see kind of honestly what the market has done through my stories that I've kept in my highlights. So that's another piece of your Instagram that you'll want to keep. And again, your 80-20 posting doesn't have to be feed posting. It can be your stories. It can be your direct messages, things like that. It doesn't all have to be your 80% doesn't all have to be the same thing. So,
what is the advantage? Say I do Facebook Live. Is that one of those scenarios where you're checking out a property and you're like, hey, you know what? Let's just go Facebook Live and do a 30-second to 1 minute clip. Is there a timeline strategy? Because I've heard 30 seconds and 60 seconds is common, but then you go to watch different like educational reels and sometimes they're 3 minutes, because you can get a lot more content. What's the strategy behind those?
So that is going to be considered short form and long form video. So your short form is going to be your stories, or, if you're going Facebook Live, and you can go live as long as you want. If you're just trying to get a teaser and get people to be like, oh, hey, I think maybe I want to see that property, I would go a little bit shorter so it's more of a teaser. But, if you've got a really great property, maybe you want to go a full Facebook Live on it, or go Facebook Live from an open house. I do keep those a little bit shorter because I want people to actually come out. I don't want them to just watch the whole thing on there and you know, be like, oh, well, I got what I needed. I'm not interested. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, we want a meeting, we want an appointment, we want face-to-face with these people, because we are trying to, through our consistency, create business for ourselves and capture leads. So on that, I would go Facebook Live at an open house, touring a property, and I would keep that fairly short. Now, if you're going to get on and you're going to talk about the market, maybe you're going to do a quick video with a lender. That one can be longer, and those are the ones that, you know, I'm talking about YouTube, that maybe I'd start doing just informational stuff on Facebook. And you want to be, this is a word that's used a lot in the social media realm of this, is you want to be infotaining. So you want to have information, but you want to entertain people as well, because you want to capture them in the literally like the first 10 to 20 seconds that you're on there. Unfortunately, we don't have a super long attention span. And so we want to grab people. So you're going to do that through the first few things that you say, or your headline. Like maybe you're going to get on and talk about the market, and maybe you put worst time to buy a house, ? People are going to hop onto that because of what they're hearing. So you want to grab their attention with something like that. So same thing. So let's talk about the open house, like, you know, private sneak peek at these killer views, or, you know, just depending, you want to speak to the home. But those are some great things to be able to utilize through that. Is that helpful,
Okay.
Billy?
Yep, absolutely. I appreciate you going over it.
Absolutely. So personal posts. People love animals. Do you guys have pets? No.
I do not.
It's just going to be you and your hat, Michael. So find the things that are interesting to you in your life and share them personally. Ed Burdick is a phenomenal cook. I love to see his creations on his social media page. I actually have never eaten any of Ed's food. So I say he's a phenomenal cook, and I've never even eaten it, right? Now, at our company picnic last year, apparently he made a salad. I got there late. It was already gone. But everybody said it was so good, right? So that he shares that. So I have this perception of Ed that he's this great cook, but I've never eaten his food. Like, that's the power of social media. He shares these beautiful meals, and I'm like, you just cook that on a Tuesday night? Like, it's restaurant like style and quality from what I can see, right? So he's hooked me on that because I want to see what Ed cooked or baked or whatever. And so those are his personals. That's going to create a draw from people for him. Business posts, pretty straightforward. It's going to be, you know, your information about it being, you know, being a great time to buy, how to win over sellers in this market. Our market center does such a great job sharing so much information. You get so much from lenders. Just read it through, hop online and like share it, like something that stood out to you. Just get on and share some piece of valuable information. And that would be, you know, a business post for you. I do encourage you to, you know, not let people forget you're selling real estate. So hopping on there, hey, don't forget, I'm available this weekend to show property. Are you looking, you know, those types of things. And I can help with other ideas if somebody needs that. And then, so I know we've got 80 and 20, and then we've got an above and beyond. There we go. Above and beyond is going to be things about like community service. Red Day is a really, really great one to share for above and beyond. Maybe you went and volunteered or hosted a table at the Safe Haven Golf Tournament or something like that. So that's your community service pieces that you want to have in there, not daily, but every few weeks, monthly, just letting people know like, hey, I'm not only just in the community, I'm also giving back to the community.
I've been in network marketing for the past 10 years, and that's where I come from, this space. And we do a thing called Wealth Wednesday. And there's a lot of different things you can do. You can take and take 20, $40 and stick it in the top of a, what do you call it? A formula can, not so that like they can't see it, or like in a diaper box or something like that, to where it's just like a random surprise. No one knows where it's coming from. We used to say tip the bill on a Wednesday, things like that. Do the Starbucks buy for, where like you buy the person in front of you in their drive through. But we practice what we call Wealth Wednesday in network marketing world. And that's something that if you do share that on social media, you're going to get a lot of attention from it. People are going to look at you and be like, oh, look, like she's more than just a salesperson.
Yeah, that's
Real
great.
estate is still just sales, right?
Yeah, right. That is awesome. So she said, I don't hear it clearly, but she was like, they do Wealth Wednesday. So they'll just like maybe they'll slip like $20 into like a formula can or a box of diapers or something like that. So nobody has any idea where it comes from, but you're giving back to other people. So that is a really great community service engagement. Absolutely. Here's some other, just maybe if you're trying to think of like, okay, what do I post about my personal life? Maybe you're a little bit more private. My daughter is does marketing as well. She's a business marketing major, and her social media is like lockdown. Like she is private, but she does this for, a living for herself. So sometimes it can be hard. Now she doesn't gain business from social media. So she doesn't use it for any sort of purposes like that. But for us, like what do I want to post about? Nobody cares that I, ate this pizza last night, but they do, like I said, like pets, art, cooking, exercise, outdoor adventures, live music. The summer is packed full. You can go listen to live music just about anywhere, restaurant, concerts in the park. Lebanon had Guitars Under the Stars last night. Tuesday, they had concerts in the park. Here in Albany, you've got river rhythms and, just all sorts of stuff. So people really, really love that. So sharing, hey, I'm headed out to river rhythms tonight. Who's going? Who wants to share a blanket? I don't know. Just things like that. And then team sports, we're coming up on football starting soon, right? High school football, right? And sharing those things, connecting with your local school, knowing when, home games are going to be, and maybe doing a little short story of, maybe start a whole series on Friday Night Lights if you like to go to high school football games. There's so much you can do with that. And then here's your business posts, your listings, your open houses, your awards, speaking events, things like that. A quick one. So like I just, snapped a picture of the room before I started. That's a business post. It went in a story on my Instagram, and then it'll be my 20%. And then that 10%. Any ahas?
Still learning.
I was gonna rock Facebook and then YouTube.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about social media strategies. So you want to connect with people that you know or that you have met in one way, shape, or form. So when you're out and about at a marketing event or a community event or something like that, share your social media with people. For me, you can create a QR code, and you can scan that, and it's going to put my contact directly into your phone. And then also it's going to connect you with my Facebook, my Instagram, my LinkedIn. And that is a great way to share your social media and your contact information with maybe like fellow people in the industry. When you go to an event, if anybody's going to family reunion, I highly recommend making sure you have a stack of business cards, because that's the best way to grow your referral network is through engaging with other agents at these events. And then also just getting your information out there to your clients. If they can connect with you on a personal level, you're going to build a deeper trust with them. Post about your neighborhood. If you live in an area, and you don't have to post exactly where you live, but just like maybe you live in the animal kingdom, like post about that. Hey, we're having a community-wide garage sale, and share that into, different local happenings. Images are really important because it captures people's attention. So you'll see sometimes people will just throw up a picture and be like, photos just to grab attention. And that's because people are stimulated by those images, and that's what's going to grab you. Oh, cute dog. Let's see what he had to say. They don't see your words first. They're going to see your picture first. Post about your closings. So congratulate your new homeowners or your sellers. It's always really important just to make sure that people are not forgetting that you're in real estate. And then you want to engage on those. Quite often I see, maybe somebody's posted a new listing and people are asking questions, and like, you want to make sure you've got scheduled time to go back in there and answer those, because first of all, you don't know who's just a looky-loo and who's serious. And then you want to make sure that you're getting the information that they need back into their hands, and ultimately looking to set an appointment. Okay. So let's think hyper local, utilizing tech developments and posting about client testimonies. So if we're thinking about hyper local information, I just talked a little bit about like the neighborhoods and things like that. Albany, Corvallis, these have a ton of like things happening all the time. So you could coin yourself as, your local live music expert or something like that. Find something that interests you and then just go deeper on it and share. You're just sharing valuable information to other people out there and building relationships. And that's really truly what social media is about, is building trust with the community, building trust with your fellow agents. And through that, once they learn that, hey, like, these people are trustworthy, that's going to help you be able to capture the leads that you're looking to do through social media. And it's going to be the least amount of your time, effort, and money on a huge return on it, as long as you're consistent with it. Stay on top of updates on your apps, things that are newly happening. You can always, go over to YouTube and search, newest social media engagement on Facebook, or, getting some tools to help you in that area. If you're struggling with something, or I don't know engaging posts, like what should I post? There's lots, you could just Google that. There's lots of ideas for that. If you're struggling on your captions or things, ChatGPT, if anybody doesn't know about that, you can just Google that. It'll help you write some engaging content, which is a nice tool to have. A lot of times you're just like, well, I don't have any idea what to say. And you can get it started with some keywords and things like that, and get a nice, robust caption for something. And then posting your client testimonials. I know that for me, like, for instance, if I'm going to go check out a new restaurant, or even I just stayed at Airbnb this last weekend, I'm going to read through those reviews. I want to know what other people had to say. And so especially when you've got a client that's just raving about you, like they're so in love with you because you help them, sell their house or buy their house. Ask them, once they get under contract, to write you a review or a testimony. And then when they close, ask them again, because you want to catch them at those like peak highs in their transaction where they're like really singing your praises. And then you want to share that information. And it's so important because other people need to hear not only what you think about yourself, but what your clients are thinking about you as well, and the experience that they had with you. And then you're just going to build on that. Once that person, drew someone in with that, you're going to ask them the same thing and share those and keep them so if you're using Instagram, I'd say put these in one of your highlights, but also just on Facebook, just share it and a word of gratitude with that, because it's really, really wonderful when somebody actually takes the time to write a testimony or a review for you, and you should want to share that with the world. Okay, so don't post and ghost. This is really easy to do. So sometimes we're just like, well, I just haven't posted in 3 days, so I just need to throw something up there so people don't forget that I exist. But what happens with that is sometimes we maybe don't go back and engage on any of the engagement we had. So you don't want to post something and then just leave it. Or even if you are on somebody else's. So part of your commenting and things like that is not just on your own posts and things, but also on other people's. So when you go in and you comment, hey, here's how you get to this bakery, right? You want to go back and see what they responded to you and sometimes you can get good dialogue going. So don't just set it and forget it. Don't post it, ghost it. It's really important. Just like any of our lead gen fortunes in the follow-up, and you really want to engage in that and leverage that. So adding value, that's what I was talking about with just like your neighborhood posts, your community engagement. I love the Wealth Wednesday that she was talking about, just being able to give back to the community. And you can do that through online communities as well. So if you're not part of one, I would highly recommend maybe creating a group for like your local neighborhood. So I created one for my street. I will cringe if I see any other office sign on my street. I just live on a little cul-de-sac, but I created a Facebook page just for my neighborhood. So we can engage with one another, share things that are going on. You can expand that to a larger neighborhood. I talk about, you have the animal kingdom up here, and you could create a whole, I'm sure, I have no doubt that there's a Facebook page for that neighborhood. So Lionel probably has a Facebook page for, Northwest Albany, and if he doesn't, I'm sure someone does. And the reason you want to create that page is because you really want to be in control of it. If you create a page, you don't want it to be over inundated with other realtors. You want to be engaging. You want to be the local expert for their neighborhood. You want to have all of the inviting, unique, valuable information for that neighborhood or that online community. Another good example would be like maybe you work out a lot and you've got a whole community that likes to work out. We'll create a Facebook group for that or a page and run it yourself. It doesn't take a lot of time and effort, and share the things that you guys have in common. Workout, pets, moms groups, neighborhoods. There's no shortage of ways to engage with people on social media. Maybe men who wear fedoras, you can do that. I can be like, I've never come to a class because I love it again, so I'll just talk about my hat. Well, I'm to the end of class, which is great.
Sure.
So that's the end of that. I want to talk just more about, okay, so what kind of questions does everyone have? So social media is one of those ones where it's so big and vast. There's a lot of rights with it. It's really hard to go wrong on social media. I mean, of course, there's like the posting and ghosting. The biggest thing you could do wrong is just not engage and not be consistent on there. But I'd love to just maybe, dive a little bit deeper on some questions that you guys have. I know this is capturing leads with social media, and the capturing part is going to come through you being consistent with your posting, you being engaging, asking for business. It's all going to be pretty much the same as what you're doing other areas, but you're focusing it just on this media platform or whatever media platform that you choose to go with. Anybody got something that's really working well for them? So growing your social media is something that should be in your business plan and in your daily schedule. So if you don't have that time blocked onto your schedule, I have on my calendar, I have set for the same time every single day. I do my social media content creation, and then social media engagement and posts. So I like to create my own content. So I'll go through and do that. And then I'll go through and post and comment and like. And I have it in my calendar because if I didn't, I would skip it 100%. And I also leave room. I know how I like to run my page myself. So I do leave room for, I schedule my actual posts, Facebook, Instagram, those are scheduled. A lot of them are predetermined, but I leave myself just the freedom to kind of do whatever I want with my stories. And that's where most of my like personal stuff's gonna happen. It's where you're gonna see the insights of my life. It's where you're gonna see my dog and my kids and things like that. And a lot of it comes to just trial and error for yourself. Like, hey, I'm just gonna try this. Let's see if I like it. Let's see how it works. Try the different platforms as you're trying to learn which one you want. And some people don't want one at all. But it is the direction that the world is kind of going. That kind of it is. That's where all of it's at. Those of you on Zoom, do you have anything do you have a recent post that got a lot of engagement that surprised you?
I think it hit home earlier when you said, really, people interact with the personal side and the business side doesn't get near the following. And I think it's almost like 80% of my feedback is through personal, when you're showing your kids or things you're doing in your home life. But when it involves work, the interaction goes down to 20% opposed to the 80%.
Absolutely.
I don't know, that's just kind of what I see. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, that's really true. And the thing that's really neat about that though is even though like your business or post doesn't get the same amount of engagement that your personal post got, I almost guarantee you that the 100 people that saw your personal post, they saw your business post. They just chose not to react or respond to it. So that's why it's good to have that mix in there, because those people, you're going to stay in front of them with your business posts because they like your personal life, and you will get business from that. People will say, the person that has liked your stuff with your dog for the last year is going to, direct message you, also called DM in the world of social media. And they're going to say, hey, I want to list my house. And maybe they've not reacted to one thing that you've ever posted about real estate, but they knew that you sold real estate and they liked you and they trusted you based on everything they know about your personal life that you've been willing to share with them. And that is how you want to create relationship. And I know I keep coming back to this, but like you want to build this trust and this consistency of like, hey, who I am here is really who I am over here as well. And the more you can share who you are on social media, the more insights people get into your life. They really feel as if you're really authentic. And especially the younger generation that's coming up, that a lot of people are like, they don't want to work, or they're just this instant gratification entitled generation. It's really not true. They're a very authentic generation. Like, they want no BS. They want you to do what you say what you do, and they can smell a fake or a fraud miles away. And this is your 16 to 25 kind of range of people, and they don't have a tolerance for people who are fake. And they can see that through our social media and the way that we live our lives on that, and they'll gravitate to authenticity. And these are our future home buyers. And so it's really important to put yourself out there in a way that that you conduct your life. I mean, if you are like, I work really hard, Monday through Thursday. Maybe you take Fridays off and, you're like, I just, love to go to these raves. I've never been to a rave. I'm just like taking something outlandish in my opinion, but like, I like to go to this. Well, you share that on your stories. Well, they see, hey, I'm responsible and business minded all week long, but like, I was going to show you like how I like to have a good time, and they're going to love that about you. And, just share who you are and don't hold back. Like, because the people that you want to be in business with are going to gravitate to you, and those people, and there will be people that you don't want to do business with. It's going to help kind of keep them away. And it's going to save you a lot of time in the long run. Any other ahas or things that are working well?
Interesting to do some more looking into some of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Lionel, are you still on? Do you have any, oh, sorry, go ahead, Billy.
Sorry, I might have missed it. I had to step out for a couple minutes earlier. Did you go over how to schedule posts properly in detail?
Do that in my here. Hold on. I didn't, but let's talk about that. So you can create your own posting schedule. The key is just going to be being consistent with that. So there are platforms that you can use to schedule posts. If your social media, if your Facebook, you've got the Meta one or whatever, you can schedule through Facebook. I keep my Facebook run as a personal page. I don't have a business page because I am on a team, and my team runs a business page, so I keep a personal page. My posting on that I can do through Planoly. You can use Buffer. There's lots of various platforms out there that you can schedule your posts on, and it'll just post for you, so you don't have to be on there. Like, you can literally spend a day and schedule out your entire month of your regular posting. Now, you do need to go back in and see that. I don't want you to set it and forget it, but you do need to go back and engage on those posts. So that would be your scheduling. It depends on what you are kind of looking to do, and there are some really great information. There is some really great information out there about the times and days to post. I think that those are better for like bigger cities. They do work, but I don't think it's like Bible. I don't think that that's just, you only have to post at this time and this time to get the engagement that you want. And then on Instagram, those Planoly and Buffer, those things will schedule and post for you on Instagram as well. I don't know about TikTok, Twitter, any of the other ones, but I do know that you can schedule your posting on those. And then it might just be for yourself, like research, and if you're wanting set times to schedule your posts, see if those work for you. And these websites, Planoly specifically, will tell you the times that you should post, and you can just schedule into those. But pay attention and see what kind of engagement and feedback you're getting on those to make sure that those posting times are working for you. I'll tell you, like, Sunday afternoon and evenings, there's not as many people on social media, and then Monday mornings is pretty bleak. But throughout the remainder of the week, you're pretty good on all of that. And then Saturdays in the summer are pretty quiet on social media as well. Honestly, the business working hours are probably the highest times, the peak times that people are on. And that's good to know for your stories, since those are only up for 24 hours. And then also another little piece that you may or may not know about stories is, so if I posted a story and you saw, like, I have a story posted, other people that are on your social media platform that are also posting stories, it's going to bump you further down the line. So you're probably not going to show up right as soon as like say my story was 10 hours ago, doesn't expire for 24 hours. And sure, people are still seeing it. Probably not, because in that 10 hours, 100 other people have posted a story and they go to the forefront of the line. So I need to post another story, and I want a story running almost all the time. So if I'm posting something every 8 to 10 hours on my stories, that's a good rule of thumb to keep. So I always have a story going. Otherwise, it's just dead space for my stories should be. And people want to see and know that. Does that answer your question, Billy, on the scheduling?
Yeah, definitely. I appreciate the heads up on it.
You're welcome. Any other tidbits or questions? Okay, well, I know that we're supposed to go until 11. This one does always end up being a little bit shorter in the past when I have scheduled it, or when I taught this one. I am Crystal Burt. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, and I would love to connect with all of you on there. I'm also on, all the other things, but and answer. I am available to answer any questions that you guys have. You can reach out to me at any time. If I don't know the answer, I'll find the answer for you. Like I said in the beginning, social media is changing very quickly. It's very fast paced. It can seem overwhelming to keep up with new platforms, new ways to post and engage. But honestly, if you stick to this at its core, it's going to work for you. So that's going to be your 10, your 5, and your 1. But most importantly, you need to figure out what's your big why, what's important to you, what are the things that you want to be sharing, and then really dig down into those and make it work for you. And I would pick maybe like 3 topics that you want to post about consistently, work on scheduling those, and be consistent for 6 months on that, and then go back and be like, okay, how did that work? Did I like that? What's working? What's not working? And reevaluate your social media strategies for yourself, about every 6 months. Okay, going once, going twice. Anything else? Did you have something, Billy?
Nope. Just thank you very much for your time today.
You are welcome. Thank you all very, very much. I just wish you all the best of luck with your social media endeavors. And like I said, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to me. I'd love to answer the questions that you have and maybe do some masterminding together. Some things maybe that you're doing that I'm not doing that I'd love to know about.